car.
Kevin Bartlett in the Mitsubishi Starion has been enthusiastic so far today. As you can see, the left-hand front of the car is damaged. Not so much that Kevin has lost control, but my goodness, he's giving the Starion everything it's got, sharing the car with Peter Fitzgerald today. This is the first time the car's run since April. It is the same car that he ran in the touring car title as a slower car pulls to the pits full of smoke. And Bartlett, frankly, disappointed with the motor car, even though currently it's lying second in the 3-litre class behind the Robbie Fancevic Volvo. Bartlett saying that the car hasn't got the horsepower that he'd expected from it after this intensive modification work that it's had done on it in the last few months. Bartlett very keen to get this car developed before the true long distance races at the Castrol 500 and the James Hardy 1000, and at the moment a disappointed man.
Thick traffic around the back section of the circuit where third placed Gary Wilmington pulling away, getting a little bit of a gap buffer from himself in car number 12 to fourth place now John Harvey in front of the Kiwi businessman Kent Bajan. He's gone back to fifth place, and as you can see, not too happy about the situation. Peter Brock is letting Harvey do the leading for the Noble Holden dealer team.
I think you may find that Harvey's experience in these long distance races is really coming to the fore in the traffic here, and Kent Bajan's BMW perhaps not handling as well as he would like to, and he's having a little bit of trouble in this traffic.
Well, Bajan was really throwing the car around earlier in the race, and it's very possible that his tyre condition has deteriorated to a degree that he just can't hold up the challenge.
Well, you can see him oversteering badly there, and I think it's possibly not so much the fact that he's throwing the car around, as the car's not handling as well as it could be.
You can see too Robbie Francevic tucked in very tight to that pack. Have a look here at the way the Bajan car is or isn't working. Power on. And actually understeering initially, and then the tail coming around on him.
At a quarter race distance with 25 laps down, Dick Johnson leads by 10.42 seconds from Jim Richards, who in turn is 16.4 seconds ahead of Gary Wilmington, clinging to a slender 0.8 of a second lead from John Harvey, with Kent Bajan only a half a second behind. Oh, it's John Harvey who's had a spin at the end of the main straight, and Harvey powers back into the car to get back into the field. But Harvey's dropped off the circuit. And blue smoke from the car, which means, as Bob Morris says, that there must be a tyre rubbing. He's obviously hit the concrete on the way in, and Harvey will undoubtedly come to the pits at the end of this lap. That's more than a tyre, isn't it, Bob?
Well, it's hard to say, but it looks as if there's that's tyre smoke off the left front, I would think.
And we're told that the reason that he's in this condition is because he's actually hit Peter Williamson's car, which, as you remember, rolled on the same corner only a short while ago. There you can just see the nose of Williamson's car as Harvey moves out of the circuit and then powers back onto us, coming to the pits.
You can see he has his blinker on now. He's definitely coming to the pits.
28 laps down. John Harvey was in fourth position when he spun out. And Masterton also is off the track at the same place.
So we ninth position outright.
So we have to ask, is there oil out there?
Colin Bond is now in 10th position outright as John Harvey comes into the pits. And Dick Johnson has lapped all but the first 10. He's lying 11th, if you like, on the road behind the 10 that are behind him.
Now let's see how slick the Mobile Holden dealer team pit crew is as they move in. Churns of fuel going straight in.
Parsons getting into the car.
No, waved away. Apparently there's engine damage as well by the looks of it. Smoke from under the bonnet. It could be that the car has done its dash.
Not a good day for the Holden dealer team. Both cars in the pits early.
It's by less than 1/3 distance, both of them into the pits.
And as the seconds tick away, there's been 34 seconds in the pits at the moment, and I would say that it's very unlikely that the car will go out. In fact, they dropped it off its jack while the wheel was still off the car, so you can just about write this vehicle off. And there's Peter Williamson's car sitting right on the spin-off exit line, if you will, at the bottom of the main straight, with more body damage on it, and it's obvious that it's been hit by none other than John Harvey. 35 laps into the event, and there's the fourth place man, Kent Bagent, who's stopped at the bottom of the circuit. He's got everything open but the kitchen sink on that car, looking for his problem. What bad luck for Kent Bagent, because he was really storming. He was only 2.62 seconds behind Wilmington at the time he stopped. He was holding a 1.34 second advantage over Robbie Francevic. I think it's got him somewhat stumped.
On his 37th lap, Jim Richards still hanging on to second place, but dropping somewhere around 15 seconds to the race leader, Dick Johnson, in the green Ford Mustang. And in fact, the Richards BMW that's so convincingly won him the Touring Car Championship this year, about the only car in the field in this race that hasn't been altered since the Touring Car Championship, that wasn't allowed new freedoms with the regulations that came out on the 1st August. Well, not the regulations, but allowance of other freedoms. Some were given to the Mustang, some were given to the Holden Commodores. They gained a 5th gear and they had to come down to a smaller engine with, as Peter Brock says, smaller valves that make it less torquey and needs more revving, so he needs the extra cog. The Volvo has more power, but soon loses its freedoms. But this car really has been doing the job very well. As we said earlier, he's being followed very closely there by Terry Finnegan, one of 15 Holden Commodores entered for the meeting here today. But Richards is hoping to go through without a stop for fuel or tyres, and if of course he can do that, and I think the gap that he's dropped in 35 laps is less than half what they estimated might have been the case, then he will be, or should be, close to Johnson and able to argue about victory towards the end of the race.
Somebody else is stuck in.
Graham Lusty is another car to Peter Williamson's poor Toyota Supra being used there like some railway buffer, because Graham Lusty is the latest car to charge in and to hit the hapless Supra. That's Peter Williamson's car, just as Graham Lusty arrives and thumps the front yet again. That car, of course, dreadfully damaged at the start of the last James Hardy, and is new. About half the body shell is new, including the floor pan.
Not anymore.
Still new, but it's very bent new.
And there's another car into the wall.
Being Gerald Kay.
Different wall this time, however. This is at Castrol corner at the top of the straight, rather coming onto the straight. So at least the drivers are sharing around the concrete walls in this meeting.
Nobody's been game enough to... Well, it was Peter Williamson, of course, who came to grief on the sponsors' corner at Pepsi. But the earlier one, the fast one, Marlborough, is one that everybody likes to keep free of, the kink at the end of the straight.
And there's the Peter Williamson car, stuck at the bottom of the main straight from Pepsi corner. And Bob Morris, would you leave the car in a position like that?
Well, it's very difficult for them to move it because it's hard against the concrete wall, and they'd really have to get a truck in to move it. But I certainly wouldn't like to be standing there. It's been already hit by two cars, and still quite a distance to go in this race.
Still down with Peter Williamson's hapless Toyota Supra. Mike Quinn just misses it and drives out, but pits soon after.